So Simon.
Yeah.
Standing in for Jamie.
Yeah.
How?
There's a lot of pressure.
I just can't do it.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, what?
Man,
Oh god, I can't look at the camera scares me. This week we see Robert Pattinson cruising the streets in David Cronenberg's Cosmopolis.
Also, we're going to review Matthew McConaughey's performance in Killer Joe.
Whilst this week on Bargain Binged, we take a look at the shirtless thespian's earlier role in Fool's Gold.
Fool's Gold!
Fool's Gold!
Where's your car?
We can't seem to find it.
David Cronenberg's Cosmopolis is a neon-soaked magnum opus that charts a day in the life of Eric Packer, a billionaire capitalist making his way across New York City to get a haircut. Over the course of the day, he takes meetings, loses money, and finds his life threatened as he becomes prey to an as-yet unknown assassin. That might seem like a narrative hook, but Cronenberg is less interested in plot and more preoccupied with exploring themes of money and mortality.
You're right. I didn't think of that.
We died because it's the weekend.
You guys start, because I think I'll go off on a tangent.
Before you start fanboying.
I just get patronised.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Is that how it feels? Oh. Oh.
And it just felt like a microcosm imploding on itself, which resulted in
a microcosm what?
Sorry. Oh, that's
those are very big words. I think you wanted to kind of question things afterwards. It was one of those films where you watched it and kind of thought, nah, and then you think about what actually happened. Maybe.
I came out of the cinema not really knowing what I thought about it, and then it grew on me over days, and now it's my favourite film of the year. So I don't care what you guys say.
That's a bit harsh.
It's a bit harsh.
I'm joking.
So I want to get away from the fact that it's Robert Pattinson. Yes, we're watching Edward Sparkly Edward playing a very, very different role and playing it to the best of his abilities, which are questionable. But he played it to the best of his abilities, and it's an empty. I just found the film empty.
Yeah, not to be all Shakespearean about it, but what does it mean to act like after watching that film?
Yes. It's frustrating because everything that everyone else hates about it, and they've argued it perfectly, that's what I love about it.
So that was a deciding mixed reception of Cosmopolis.
Sorry.
So that was a deciding mixed reception of Cosmopolis. Now let's lighten the tone with a drinking game. Let's play Bargain Binge.
Killer Joe makes you wonder how Matthew McConaughey could have ever been in a film like Fool's Gold. However, in spite of the terrible plot, poorly drawn characters and gratuitous bicep shots, when seen through a layer of alcohol it becomes easier to bear. With hilarious overacting from Ray Winston and Donald Sutherland, it makes for the ideal pre-drink session.
Penny a point.
Yeah, that masterpiece of modern cinema. Oh, it's going to be a treat. So obviously, drink every time that Matthew McConaughey takes his shirt off. Mr. Can't act, disregard shirt. That's his ethos, I think.
Well, there's not much here.
Drink every time Kate Hudson complains about Matthew McConaughey.
Right, okay. She does complain a lot.
I'm going back to Chicago. I'm going to get my PhD and I'm going to spend the rest of my life teaching, reading, and writing books. And somewhere in there I'm going to meet myself an intelligent, successful...
Just drink every time Donald Sutherland. One day you're making a beautifully poetic examination of loss in Don't Look Now, and then the next you're playing second fiddle to a guy who acts more with his biceps than with his face.
Perform your duties with superlative efficiency and ease, suggestive of someone expending approximately 1/10 of her available brain power.
Every time somebody gets into the water, add a little bit to the dirty pint, because people get in, well, add however much you'd like to the dirty pint.
And obviously after they find the gold, put your hand on the floor around the dirty pint, and the last one to put their hand down has to down it. Next on the show, we review William Friedkin's Southern-fried masterpiece, Killer Joe. Fair warning, this isn't one for the squeamish.
I mean, I can't let it happen.
Killer Joe is an unflinching film. Directed by William Friedkin, best known for The Exorcist, it is centred around one trailer trash family and the hitman hired to kill the now alienated ex-wife. The talent on show throughout is impressive. From Matthew McConaughey's unexpected dark turn as the killer of the title to Juno Temple's scene-stealing performance as the innocent daughter, the viewer can feel that this is a film where the director provokes the best out of his actors. However, a word of warning, there is no shortage of explicit content, so perhaps not a film best viewed with the easily shocked.
Payment after the policy had been covered.
Look, this really isn't open for discussion. The conversation is finished.
I laughed at the fact that I guessed what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's predictable in any way, it just make note that I'm quite a dark individual. I guessed what was going to happen half a minute before.
We are talking about the chicken scene, right?
Chicken drumstick is used in a way. A chicken drumstick should never be used. But based on the play, I think that really showed in the final scene.
And the theatricality I thought played really well.
Yeah.
The only thing that I thought was really improved by the kind of, the cinematic quality highlights the claustrophobia a little. I thought that was really emphasised. And not only that, that great chase scene that Emil Hirsch has running from the mob that are trying to kill him.
With Matthew McConaughey's performance, I was just sat there not knowing exactly what to expect. I'd heard good things. I'd heard rather disturbing things, and I was like, will he really pull this off?
The politeness of like the criminals and the villains in that film.
Yeah, indeed.
It adds to the horror, and I love it. Like those are the type of things I laugh at. I think the way he's like portrayed is like before you even see him talking, he's more like a Western hero. He's got like this very clean-cut, controlled way, and I don't trust Western heroes. I watch a lot of Western.
Yes, okay, but I love the fact that it almost undercuts the authority figure.
Yeah, and
it almost plays on the kind of white middle class values of the viewer in a way.
I think the girl for me, Dottie, I can always feel the emotion.
Yeah,
she's always that quirkiness and the fact that she's a bit outside.
Exactly. Much quicker. I think that format works a lot better, guys. Good show.
Sweet.
I'm glad you came.
Cheers.
Right. Oh right, we're still filming.